This is a special meeting of the Board of Education for the first quarterly construction update for 2017-18. Let us begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. And Dr. Crumpy, would you lead us tonight? Ready to begin?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, welcome guests. Thank you all for joining us. So it's nice to see people out there and folks here to be part of our meeting. So we are here for a special meeting, and as such, the intent of the meeting is entirely the focus is to be on the construction and the progress thereof. So the agenda before us is solely for that. Can I get a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? I'm not sure what everyone's here for. If we adopt the agenda as it stands, the information will be coming from our construction team, and that will be the entirety of the evening. There will be no opportunity for any input on the part of any of you in the audience.
Other than on the construction projects.
We're here because this is a public meeting.
Oh, no, that's fine. We're welcome to, you're welcome to stay. But I was just trying to poll you to get a feeling for, is there somebody who had something that they wanted to say this evening, and that was your purpose in coming?
We're here to watch the presentation.
Good, great.
Okay.
The other thing is also the capital outlay with the bonds.
If you're going to speak, you got to come up, and
Okay.
you can come up at the end and when we have comments, right?
If it has to do with these bonds,
Yes.
as long as it's on this agenda.
Yep,
And you have a motion on the floor.
good.
Is this part of the discussion for the motion?
Well, it's part of the bond measures, and it kind of touches on the sale of the Hamilton because of the capital outlay.
Cannot do that.
Oh, okay, so, but I have questions, because I'm trying to get an understanding of where is this money being used for? It's on my property tax, about $200 million. So if it's going to the same pot, because when I'm reading up on surplus property being sent out with the Naylor Act and all this other information, it says that surplus property could only be used for certain things, capital outlay or maintenance or other stuff.
Yeah, but that's not on this
Right,
agenda.
no, so that's why I'm trying to inform myself.
Our next meeting will be a regular meeting of the
Okay,
Board of
and so
Education.
that's part of the thing
And
I'm
there'll be
trying to see
orals.
where
There'll be
all this is
orals,
going
you
in.
can speak on anything that you want to speak to and ask questions. The question that you have there could be literally an email to one of the superintendent or somebody like that to get an
Dr.
answer.
Stowe.
Right.
Or Dr. Stowe and get an answer to that.
But to be well-informed, I kind of want to see where this $200 million bond is being spent
Well,
on.
this is
and-
actually in total about $550 million.
So then, yeah,
Four
so-
bonds. But none of this money is being spent at Hamilton, nor do any of the
I understand
projects
that, so,
result
no,
from
and that's
Hamilton.
what I'm, so, but it
And that's
goes
why
into-
I'm saying that we have to follow the Brown Act, and if we agenda things, we
Right.
have to deal with things accordingly. So, we'll take comment on all of this stuff if that's something that you guys want to comment on. But if you wanted to comment on the Hamilton project and all of that, if you just want to come speak to the board under orals, that'll be what happens. I suspect that the Hamilton project is the 7-Eleven committee meetings.
They haven't been posted yet, or we haven't received that information.
They've not been posted yet. So that would be a good place to go, because we can only deal with what's
Right.
here.
And we've also put in public requests, but that's neither now or later for some information about the.
Right, and
That
they'll get-
information, which is, I believe, is a 10-day deadline, but that's another thing.
But we have
That's
to
not on
follow
here.
this agenda, is
Right.
what I'm saying.
Okay. So, but this is on the bonds that you mentioned, it's a kind of an
The
update.
projects.
And is it kind of what the
This-
oversight committee would kind of also be getting?
Well,
and
it's on the
everything?
specific projects that are in progress.
So you
Okay.
can sit here and
that
watch
are
them,
being
you learn.
updated.
Right,
We're happy to
exactly.
have you
So
learn about that.
It's our property tax money being spent on what we voted for yes for a while
Yeah,
back.
that's what this is about, yeah.
Perfect. Thank
We
you.
have these every,
Quarter.
quarterly, so every 3 months, we have one of these. talks about different progress on each of the projects and how it's relevant to you and the expenditure of the bond funds. So you're welcome to come at any point in time. But my question still stands, is there someone here that had the expectation that they would be coming to speak about something this evening? Okay, because that is not a possibility as it stands on the agenda now, unless it relates to specifically to one of these projects. And we'll go through it and you'll see which ones those are. It's a few of the middle schools and elementary schools and completion on one of the high schools, et cetera. So, there were people that expected to be able to speak this evening.
As an open session, yes.
This isn't open session. This is a special session specifically for construction update. Oh, yes, yes. But it's a special session, so that's why it was agendized differently and actually posted as a special session rather than a general meeting. Dr. Mann, do we have any wherewithal to alter that? Or once we posted, can we?
Well, I think you'd have to do something to amend the agenda. But what I'd like to remind folks is that all of our agendas are posted. You can always go on the website, either 72, usually it's 72 hours for a regular session, 24 for a special session, and you can pull that agenda up and you can see exactly what's going to be on that agenda online with that. So that's your best bet, is to pull it up, look at it, see what's actually on the agenda or what isn't on the agenda.
So I have a motion and a second to approve the agenda as is, which would eliminate any opportunity for.
Let's do this. I'll amend my
public
motion.
comment.
I'll amend my motion to allow 10 minutes of oral communication from, let's make it 12 minutes, so it'll allow for 4 speakers at 3 minutes each. Amend the agenda to be able to do that, and we'll do that at the end of the bond presentation.
So meaning that we'll add a 12-minute unscheduled hearings section for public comment
whoever wants to get up and speak.
on non-agendized
On
items.
non-agendized items.
Okay.
I don't know if we can do that, but
I'll second that.
You can make that amendment.
We
okay,
can,
we've
and
amended
we're
it.
not going to have any issues with not having posted that as a public comment
Because
opportunity.
we can't take any action.
But you can't take
Can't
any
take action. We
No
can't.
action, okay.
And you shouldn't really communicate.
Okay.
Good.
Okay, so the motion has been made that we alter our agenda to be able to include a 12-minute time period for unscheduled hearings or public comment on non-agendized items, just comment, not questions, and we can't do any action. We can refer you to staff will be here to listen to. And,
Suggestion, Madam.
yes, sir.
That item that you are adding become item 7A for the purposes of the agenda,
7A,
So amended.
so after discussion action items?
which there are none.
Yes, yes. Okay.
I'll
Any
second
other,
that.
okay, any other discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Okay, so that means that we will allow 12 minutes at 3 minutes per person, which is what our normal is, and I'll read that section when we get there. That will be 4 people at most that can speak. Do we
Or
have any
12 people
cards?
at 1 minute.
Do we have any cards out there? No, we didn't provide cards. Okay. For those folks who are interested in speaking,
Those are for the agenda.
no, there's none, oh, we have only, oh,
We'll put some yellow ones
Yeah,
out
can
there,
we
so
put
if
some
somebody
yellow
wants
ones
to
too,
speak,
please?
they can fill it out and get it to us.
and while we're going through the presentation,
And Mrs. Deutsch,
Yes,
in the absence of, you are the clerk.
I am.
so she'll be timekeeping? Yes.
I'm got it ready. Yes.
Okay, so with that having been dealt with, thank you, we will move on to our staff presentation and information. So measures Y and Z, first quarterly construction update for 2017-18. Measures T and U, first quarterly construction update for 2017 and 18. And I will refer to, oh, he is. Right there right there in the front row. I didn't even see you amongst the folks.
You guys were busy.
Yeah, well, thanks
I
for
like that.
waiting.
Yeah, no problem. Good evening, Madam President, esteemed board members, district cabinet, and all the people that are in the audience. This is kind of exciting to have our design and construction team actually provide an update to listening ears. So behind me, you'll find Phyllis St. George representing HMC and John Gomer representing Westbrook White, along with Emily Kay from Balfour Beatty. And we'll bring up Phyllis St. George to speak to the progress on HMC's.
This one? Okay, good evening. On the Jefferson Middle School, the gymnasium is in progress. It's scheduled to be completed in the spring of 2018. Yukon and Edison Elementary School roofings were completed in the summer. And we're moving towards the DSA closeout certification. Any questions on that?
When's Jefferson going to be done?
I think it's scheduled for April.
April? Okay, good, thanks.
The West High modernization and auditorium is in fifth phase of 10. It's in progress and on schedule. The Richardson Middle School gym is in progress. That's also scheduled to be completed in the spring of 2018. For future, West High School Mod Phase 6, Richardson Middle School modernization is closed out for all intents and purposes in construction and moving towards the DSA certification. Any questions?
And that can be followed through with even though the gym is not completed because...
They're two separate
It's
projects.
a separate project. Got it.
Good evening, board members. Torrance High School, as you're aware, we just recently had a rededication ceremony on that a couple weeks ago, which was very successful. And right now, we are going through the DSA closeout paperwork process, which will take probably, a few months to get that taken care of. Any questions on that?
Look gorgeous.
Excuse me?
Looks nice, looks very nice.
Yes.
Thank you.
Is there anything outstanding at all on campus? It's all done? Really?
They're just, finishing up the odds and ends in the auditorium and so forth, and a few of the buildings, touch-ups and so forth, but other than that, it's pretty much wrapped up. The elevators are being finalized as well.
Okay.
It's beautiful.
It looks really nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Carr, Casimir, and Lincoln, we just finished up the re-roofing for Carr and for Lincoln over this past summer. And the science labs were complete in both those two elementary schools as well, the elementary schools. As far as the gymnasium, do you have something to speak on that?
The Casimir Gymnasium is also in progress and scheduled to be completed in the spring of 2018.
Other than that, we're going through the DSA closeout paperwork on the three elementary schools of Carr, Casimir, and Lincoln as well. Any questions?
More ribbon cuttings.
More ribbon cuttings, that's right.
That's right.
Arnold, Anza, and Arlington Elementary Schools. The re-roofing was done on those three schools over the summer. We've also are through the DSA approval process. We're going through the final stamping of the plan, so the whole project, the remainder of the project can go out to bid next year for summer construction. Any questions?
Moving right along.
The Adams, Torrance, Victor, and Elementary Schools, the design meetings are complete. Construction documents are in progress, and it'll be put to the board in November. A tentative construction schedule is for the summer of 2018.
So we'll have 6 schools going simultaneously,
Very busy.
and that'll finish Y and Z.
They're anxiously awaiting. Let's put it that way. They know they're last, too.
Again, the middle school gymnasiums, Jefferson, Casimir, and Richardson, the construction's in progress. West High School auditorium also in progress for completion in February 2018.
The Torrance Aquatic Center is under construction, as we all know. There is a ICOC meeting this Thursday afternoon where they will get a chance to walk through the project right now. Right now, it's about 65% complete. The pool deck itself is going to be poured in about 2 weeks. The pool itself, it has gunite and the tile already completed on the project. The building slabs are going to be poured this week. The walls are already up, so now they're going to do the slabs on the interiors. The building pool and solar piping rough-ins are ongoing right now, but those should be completed in the next couple months. And overall, the project is running quite smoothly.
Madam President, I do have to point out the completion date is incorrect. I just received that after this presentation was put together. It's going to be an additional month. So it's going to be, we had planned on November. Looks like now it's going to be December.
Ooh, it's going to be even colder to be in there, Mr. Lee.
As long as they heat that pool, I'm still jumping in it.
Any questions? Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Not a whole lot to talk about on the safety and security for this phase, I guess. Fencing Phase 2 has, in essence, completed. We're punch listing and doing some final items. Couple of issues with gate hardware, which we'll be addressing this week and moving into the next week. So definitely attention focused on getting everything tightened up. Surveillance, we are waiting a little bit until we get further along with the new gymnasiums and new auditoriums, and then we'll move into our final phase of security that addresses those additional spaces.
Meaning directionality of cameras and
Correct.
additional cameras, et cetera, et cetera?
Exactly, that can point back from those new buildings, et cetera.
Okay.
Any questions on safety, security? Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. There's been no expenditures of Measure T in the last quarter because I'm out of money. So you've heard that before, so until 2020.
We have.
And that's all there is to report. We'd be glad to field any questions and hear any comments.
One thing, and it may be a little outside of it, but maybe staff can get back to me on that. When I was at the concert at the auditorium at Torrance High School, I saw the bricks were down. They're all in front of the gym, but there were no plates yet. Can somebody update me when those plates arrive or where they are in the process for the donor plates?
Dr. Stowe can. But as you know, that's a Torrance High project.
Yeah, that's the community now.
I will speak with the principal and get an answer for you.
Thank you very much.
We did not have a date.
It was anticipated it would be done before the 100th anniversary, but clearly was not, so okay. Okay, well, good, and we'll just be, people are asking, so I thought I would relay that information.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else, anybody?
I don't.
All right, so we're moving right along. We're down to our last 6 elementary schools. It's very exciting.
Yeah.
And our last high school, too, is more than half finished.
Richardson is almost complete.
Wow. And so the first of this set of bonds was passed in 2008. And it's less than 10 years, and we've done all of the renovations, essentially, or will have done all of the renovations within 10 years. It's pretty impressive. Good job, construction folks. Okay, then I'm going to move on from that part of the meeting to the 7A, which is going to be oral communications or unscheduled hearings for non-agenda items. This is a very special thing for you folks since you came. Don't want you to come for no reason at all, but it's highly extraordinary that we would do this. But the Board of Education does welcome your input, so we want to make an effort to try to hear from some of you at least in order to discuss district business in an orderly manner for the privacy and safety of the speakers and to help staff respond more directly. Board policies require that public presentations to the board comply with certain procedures, including speakers to non-agenda items may address only items within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board. Time allotted for such presentations is limited to 3 minutes. Total time allotted for public input on non-agenda items is limited to 12 minutes this evening. Speaker may not relinquish his or her time to another. When addressing the board, speakers are requested to state their name, address the president from the podium, and adhere to the applicable time limits. Complaints about employees or students will normally be heard in closed session, and the district's complaint procedure should be followed before discussion with the board. The board may remove disruptive individuals and order the room cleared if necessary. Any person who willfully disturbs any public school meeting is guilty of a misdemeanor or Education Code 32210. So, having said that, did we have some people fill out cards to be able to speak this evening? Anyone?
You guys can speak first and fill out the card.
So 12 minutes total, folks.
I think we're over the 12 minutes, guys. Okay.
12 minutes total, so you need to figure out how that's going to happen.
Do you want to speak before you tell? Yeah, you can speak first.
Well, we actually, how many people think they're going to speak this evening? Can we see a show of hands?
Raise your hand.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, there's lots of hands.
So I see about 12, so that's only 1 minute a person? Should we say that? Is that sufficient, is that desirable, that each individual get 1 minute if there's 12 of you? Or do you want to combine and try to make longer presentations by fewer?
A lot of the girls actually spent time creating this speech. I'm gonna actually maybe come back the next time at the next board meeting and speak there.
And in fact, that might be the better thing to do for all of them, actually, is to have that a full opportunity to speak.
I'm prioritizing all the students that, because they gotta get to bed early tonight. If there's any time left at the end of that, after the 12 minutes you're allotting us, maybe the adults can speak at that point.
I don't know how long the kids have
And I don't wanna cut their speeches
arranged.
either. They've been working on the speeches for about a while, so I don't want to cut into their time.
Well, and I feel sad, actually, that this is the meeting that you chose to come to, since this is not, as you can see, there's only 3 of us, because 2 of us were not able to be here. So, in fact, it's only even 3 board members you're speaking to. So I did see about a dozen hands, so that would mean 1 minute per person.
Defer to the girls because they prepared their speeches.
So how many girls, though? I still saw 6 or 8, yeah.
We're
One-
paired.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay, well, I could just keep 12 minutes, and then we'll just stop when they stop. How's that?
Except there's going to be transition time.
Well, I can stop it, though.
Madam President,
Yes, sir.
there were 30 minutes allotted on the agenda for items that are in the agenda.
Not on this agenda.
The one I looked at online.
For items that were on the agenda. Yes, you're correct. So that's agendized items.
But I didn't notice us doing that yet.
None of this has to do with anything that was on the agenda.
I actually had a question for the board regarding my Lincoln Elementary School construction.
Okay, then that's actually we're happy to,
You probably ought to submit that question.
Yeah.
to Dr. Stubbs, and he'll be happy to answer.
again, if we're trying to prioritize it for the students,
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
if there are 6 or 7 of you and you're going to come together and have 3 minutes for each group,
Could I ask for a point of clarification then? If we are not allowed to make public comments at the public board meeting regarding the agenda item,
Yes,
why do we have 30 minutes on the agenda for the agendized item?
the time to do that would have been when we were talking about that agendized item, though. I mean, you can come forward now if there is a question that you had on one of the schools. That would be appropriate first.
Understood the
Okay. So let's do the agendized item question first.
That has just have to do with it. All right, sorry.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes too.
All right, thank you. I will try not to use more than that. My name's Alan Glassband, and besides all of this, my son goes to Lincoln Elementary School, and I'm on the PTA and the school site council over there. And I was kind of disturbed when last summer, a year ago, the PA system went missing during the summertime. And so at our school site council, the principal said that the construction company wouldn't replace it. They made comments to her that it wasn't their responsibility. We couldn't prove that they're the ones who took it or somebody working for them. I'm not saying that they took it, but it disappeared while they were there. So we went the whole year last year without a PA system at Lincoln Elementary School. And now it's there again at the first school site council. I asked the principal, hey, what's up with or PTA meeting, one of the other. I can't keep them straight. But so what is the procedure when something like that happens? And then there was a breezeway where the water was leaking into the brand new lights, and we complained, and they came over and drilled holes in the lights, and that was the answer to the report. So now the water was leaking down from the ceiling through the light onto the kids. So what is the protocol? Is that a change order to go back and fix it, or is that something that was in the budget that they have to fix without asking for more money? That's my question. Thank you for letting me ask it.
Dr. Stowe, can you just tell us the procedure? Well, each of the people on the campus actually knows what the procedure is, but can you just outline the procedure for either an item gone missing or a correction to something that's happened with the construction?
Sure. As far as the missing item, I don't recall the specifics on that. I remember Mrs. Castleberry brought it to my attention and we dealt with it. Stuff is typically, and it's supposed to be locked up and secured, and then we bring it out. So I can't speak to the disposition or the replacement, but I know we dealt with it at some level. I can get more details if you need that. As far as the roof, that's why we did the roofs this summer at 6 of the elementary schools, because we weren't able to get to them last year. The cost that was bid out was significantly higher than what we had budgeted for. And so therefore, by delaying it a year, we saved quite a bit of money. And we were able to plan and get 6 schools done at the same time. As far as the solution to that light, again, I'd have to look into specifically what that was and get back to you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, so have we sorted out what we're going to do for the 12 minutes?
Correct, yes, the ones in line here
Ladies?
will speak tonight.
Okay, so I think what we're going to do is the clerk will keep just a running clock.
Okay.
And we'll try to stop it in between people so we don't take time away when you're switching people. But when 12 minutes comes, 12 minutes comes. So each of you needs to be aware of what your time limit is so that you leave room for the next folks, okay? Does that sound all right with people?
Yes. Excuse me, Madam President?
Yes.
I can pause it, and then when the next group comes, I'll start it again.
Yes, so we'll have it stop and then restart again when, but as to how much time you as an individual are taking, you won't necessarily know unless somebody back there keeps you apprised. Okay, so let's try to hear from as many people as we can, but stay within our parameters. We're kind of pushing the limits here already. Okay, let's go ahead and begin.
Hi, my name is Eliana Bruman. And mine is Julia Diekman. We're here to tell you why you should not move our field. We've been playing at the field since 2010, and the field has become ours and many others a second home. I've played 20 seasons, including Fall Select, Spring, and All-Stars. Right now, I'm currently playing my 21st season. I played 17 in seasons, including the same type Julia has played, and I'm currently playing my 18th. A beloved coach and player has recently passed away. Coach Jesse has a bench and dedicated to him, and Jada has a banner in the outfield. She is known as our angel in the outfield. If we are relocated, Jada's special spot in the outfield and Coach Jesse's bench will just be condos. At the field, there are district champion banners dedicated to past and present players who put their all on the field. Suppose we are relocated, all that hard work, sweat, tears, and dedication will be lost to condos. Coach Olivia, Coach Sammy tells us their stories about what they did on these same fields, like their first home run or winning the championship game. Assuming that these fields are not going to be there anymore, we would never have the opportunity to pass on ours and their stories to future generations. Whenever we are not practicing at our fields, we are practicing at the parks, which people are trying to move us to. It would be too crowded for our league, and we would not have our snack bar, home of our famous taco boat. The NT family has been running since 1976. This is the second time while we've played here that they have stated that we are being relocated. We hope that we have the same outcome as last time, so future generations can make memories and we can continue to make ours. Thank you very much for your time.
Muchas gracias.
Okay, so that was about 2 minutes? Okay.
Actually, yeah, 2 minutes.
That was about 2 minutes, just to give you an idea of how time is going.
Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Brianna Roscoe. And my name is Angela Cepeda. Me and Angela have played at NTGSL for about 7 years. NTGSL has been a second home for many of us girls. So many memories have happened here at NTGSL. We cried when family had to leave. We laughed when we would tell jokes. And we would jump for joy when we would win a game. We have lost NT family and have so many memories with them at this field. Jada, our angel in our outfield, had passed away in a boat accident. Jesse, who was a great coach, has passed away because of sickness he had. We have put a sign on a bench that says, "In loving memory of Jesse Ferreras." We have put up another sign in our big field at center field saying, "Angel in our outfield, Jada, number 19. We wouldn't want you to get rid of our fields because that will mean we would have to get rid of that special bench and our special banner, but most of all the memories we have of them at this field. Even though we will forever have them in our hearts, by keeping our fields, we feel they'll continue to be with us, and we don't want to lose that. Another reason why you shouldn't get rid of our fields is because we have many girls looking up to us, older girls, and they want to continue playing here at our field. The field where their sisters, moms, cousins, aunts have played for so many years, please don't take our second home away from all of us. These fields mean so much to us. And thank you for your time.
Thank you. That was about another minute and a half, almost 2 minutes. So we still have about 8 minutes, a little over 8 minutes left, so if you're the last one, there's more time.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. My name is Madeline Hernandez, and I play for North Torrance Girls Softball League. I've been playing there for about 3 years, and NTGSL is a second home for me. I have my softball sisters there that have really became family to me. Our fields mean so much to me and my softball sisters because this is where we play, practice, and this is where we have fun. It would mean a lot to us if you guys weren't trying to sell. Well, I can't see. Weren't trying to sell the property that is used for sports for boys and girls in and around North Torrance area. This sport has made a big impact on me because it has helped me to work with others and to make a bond with coaches and teammates. That will prepare me for my future. Please don't sell the fields that are very important to our community. Thank you for listening.
Okay, thank you. So we have about 7 minutes left.
Anybody else want to step up? I can fill some time if you want.
Joanna? Or what about,
Hi, my name is
Can you bring
Santiago, and I
pull,
put
pull it down so we can hear you? Oops. Doesn't want to stay. Sorry. Hold on to it while you're speaking. There you go.
Hi, my name is
There you
Santiago Baruman, and I play for North Torrance Little League. I've been playing for lots of years, and I can't keep track. And I'm here to give you reasons why to not sell our fields. I've been playing for lots of years, and my sisters play too, and I have lots of good memories there. Thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you. Okay, 6.5 minutes still.
I'll fill some time. I actually didn't plan on speaking tonight, but of course, with everybody here, I feel obligated a little bit. As you can tell, we are definitely not a organization and or, community contribution that promotes, anything else. And I actually really appreciate you guys, adding us to your agenda. We do understand that this wasn't necessarily the meeting, but the girls did feel compelled to come out here. They have very, very strong convictions as to why they want to stay there as opposed to anywhere else. And so it's not that we're trying to be difficult, we're just trying to make a stand for the girls and for the other people in this community who have grown up there as well. Sorry. We understand that if you haven't come through our program, you may not get it, but for those who have, they are impacted at every level, from, our 6U division all the way through our alumni. So please just take that into consideration. I don't know why we keep getting targeted at Hamilton, but like they said, this is the second time in the last couple of years that we've had to come and talk to you guys about this. I mean, at some point while we're celebrating the history and the culture of Old Torrance, I would love for the board to allow us on the north end to also establish that type of historical value as well. And in these community youth organizations, we have that opportunity to do that as long as we're able to be preserved where we're at right now. So thank you very much for letting me stand up.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we still have 5 minutes on the clock here, folks.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth Molina, and I just want to stand here to say that NT has been a really, really huge impact in my life, and they've also helped me with my confidence in every situation. I feel like I could be myself anywhere I go now. Like, at school, I could call myself awkward and weird all the time, especially at NT, and at this park and field, everybody accepts everybody who they are, and it helps me feel better about myself, especially around everybody that I grew up with. All these girls that are standing here today and speaking, they're all my family and friends. Everybody here is basically my huge, huge NT family. We may not look huge and stuff, but everybody here is amazing, wonderful. They support one another, and they support everybody. Can't explain it that well, but from small to older, you get to know each other, and everybody just comes together to support everybody. How do I put this? Yeah, everybody here is family. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you. And we're down to our last 3 minutes here.
So, hi, my name's Raul Perez. I got my little son here. His name's Mateo Perez. And completely spontaneous that I'm up here, but I have the privilege of being the coach for fall ball right now. Nate, raise your hand. Okay. And then also my boy, he plays for the fall ball. He also played for the summer league as well, T-ball. And, you know, being that I'm the coach and I've had the privilege to do that, I get to interact with these kids from the community, and I think it's an important foundation to start at a young age, to have this wonderful field that is currently available to these kids in the community. I think it's something that is strong at the core of any community and any flourishing community that you go through, you know, you see throughout the state, whatever city it may be, whether you go to PV or you go to Palisades, they all got this strong, something they feel passionate about. And I can tell you, you know, I've been involved with just with NTTL for 6 months, and it definitely it's strong, has strong roots in the community here. And I definitely would invite any of you on the board to go and on a Saturday and a Sunday and go see what it's all about. And, you know, it's a good time. It's a place where families come together. You know, these young kids like Mateo, Nate, and everyone that's spoken here, you know, the things that they learn about being on a team, about listening, you start someplace. You know, we have great schools in Torrance, but it also starts with extracurricular activities, and I think it's something that we should definitely consider. You know, it's I get it, whatever the endeavors may be, whatever the interest may be, there's something more to the things that you know, the other options than something strong in the community with these kids that can, you know, grow up and be productive citizens of North Torrance. You know, you see here this room's full of nothing but North Torrance blue, and everyone's proud, very proud of what they represent. And I just really feel like, you know, these fields are a strong centerpiece of what North Torrance is all about. So if you decide to come by and I see you, I'll buy you a hot dog or a taco from the snack shack for sure. I've never worked in it, but I definitely will step in there.
Okay, we write a check.
I wrote the check, so yeah. But I definitely will do my first hot dog for you if you come down. But definitely just please consider keeping these fields for all these wonderful kids out here. So thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you. Last 30 seconds. Anybody want to make the final comment here?
I'll do double duty. You're welcome. I'm Alan Glassband. I'm board member at North Torrance Little League. On behalf of the other board members, you know, Bob was going to come and he got lost, I guess. We hope that you listen to all the kids, and since we can't be on the 7-Eleven committee, we'll just come to the meetings and give you our input here, and you could pass it along to the 7-Eleven committee and let them know and have them come to the fields and like really take a tour before they decide if it's surplus. We request that the 7-Eleven committee come over to our fields and like take a tour of all the facilities and really see what we've done over there with our own money and building all these things for the last 40 years. That would totally be lost. The memories are priceless, and we hope that you guys take that into consideration. And we'll see you next week.
Okay, thank you. Any comments from any board members? I actually just wanted to reiterate, I hope the board letter that we sent out about the process and about our intention there has been distributed and posted on your websites and all of that. Our intention is not to displace you, to take away either Little League or softball, but to find a place that would be as good or even perhaps better, further away from the freeway, that would accommodate you and the activity that you need to do. Might be more space, might be something that actually would be preferable to what you have at this point, and you could start a new history. But I don't know what the 7-Eleven committee will actually come through with, but it is up to them to define what the usage of that property could and should be for us at this point in time, so we will leave it up to them. And just to remind you all, this is probably at the minimum a 2-year, 2.5-year, probably a 3 or longer 3-year process. So this is a very, very long, very slow process before anything is going to happen. I don't know when you might see something agendized about this particular issue, but it's a ways down the road before anything will come before us as an actual action or even a discussion item to be considered at this stage of the game, okay? So you're more than welcome to come to our meetings and see what we're doing with what is happening right now and with the bond funds as they are being expended. This is a project separate and above and beyond different than the bond, but you can see how we are doing our construction and that we really have been very efficient and effective and pretty good stewards of the public monies that we've been utilizing. So we look forward to working with you, I hope, with your organizations. Yes, ma'am.
I actually just have a question, and if you don't feel comfortable answering it, you don't have to. But actually, it's a two-part question. One is the 7-11 meeting, 7 being the minimum amount of people and 11 being the maximum. Is there a reason specifically that they chose to go with only the 7 and not add additional people?
This actually, yeah, this isn't an agendized thing, but actually Dr. Stowe would be the one that you could ask that question of, because he's the, in fact, he will be dealing with the 7-11 committee through the entirety of its function, so.
And then the second part to that question was just responding to the whole freeway thing. Some feedback I've been getting is, how do we justify us moving away from Hamilton and yet keeping Yukon open? So is Yukon going to be the next to close down then? Because the freeway runs right past their playground.
This is also not an agendized item, but my kids went to Yukon, and I can answer that to a certain extent. Actually, Caltrans paid to have Yukon air-conditioned and the rooms sealed so that it could be in proximity to the freeway. So they aren't breathing in those fumes all the time. So in fact, it's a unique school in Torrance being air-conditioned.
Nice.
So.
Thank you.
All right, anything else?
Just wanted to say something.
All right, thank you very much for having
Yes, Mrs. Deutsch.
I just wanted to thank all of you for taking the evening to come and express your concern and your passion for the fields. We hear you, and we just appreciate the fact that you're coming out here. I appreciate the fact that you came as families, and to me, that's very important to me, because I agree. I mean, a sport is an extracurricular activity, and I'm really proud of how articulate you were, ladies, coming up here and expressing how you felt. And I'm just very proud of the fact that you stood up here and expressed such passion for what you love. And I just want to thank you for being here.
Yes, same. And I do want to say, by the way, for those of you who don't know, I do live maybe not even half a mile away from the fields. Very close. Have always lived there, well, at least for the last 32 years. Raised my children there. Mine were boys, and they did play Little League when they were small. So am well aware, and I've had a taco boat, I have to say. Maybe more than one. So am really well-versed on what the facility does look like. And have always considered myself to be an advocate for everyone in Torrance, but especially for North Torrance too, since I live so close to so many of you and to the facilities we're talking about. Okay, I think that's about it. So I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we adjourn. We call it adjourned. Thank you. Please check out the